The Cuban Revolution stands as a pivotal moment in the Cold War narrative, igniting ideological and geopolitical upheavals that would reverberate for decades. This video serves as a documentary-style exploration of the Cuban Revolution, unraveling the complex tapestry of events that unfolded in the late 1950s, reshaping Cuba's destiny and influencing the broader dynamics of the Cold War. Part 1. Prelude to Revolution. The narrative begins by delving into the socio-political landscape of pre-revolutionary Cuba. The country, led by Fulgencio Batista, faced issues of corruption, inequality, and a widening gap between the ruling elite and the impoverished masses. Economic disparities and political repression set the stage for a revolutionary fervor to emerge. Part 2. Rise of Fidel Castro. As the video unfolds, it explores the rise of Fidel Castro as the charismatic leader of the revolutionary movement. Castro's journey, from a young lawyer to a guerrilla commander, captured the imagination of the Cuban people who sought change and justice. The Sierra Maestra Mountains became the backdrop for Castro's rebellion against the Batista regime. Part 3. Guerrilla Warfare and Popular Support. The documentary-style narrative sheds light on the guerrilla warfare tactics employed by Castro and his followers. The revolutionary movement garnered significant support from diverse sectors of Cuban society, including peasants, students, and intellectuals. The people's discontent with Batista's regime fueled a growing sense of solidarity with the revolutionary cause. Part 4. January 1, 1959 Triumph of the Revolution. The video reflects on the climactic moment of January 1, 1959, when Fidel Castro's forces successfully ousted Batista, marking the triumph of the Cuban Revolution. The events that unfolded in Havana symbolized a radical shift in power and set the stage for Castro's vision of a socialist Cuba aligned with the Soviet Union. Part 5. Ideological Landscape. As the narrative vividly recounts, the Cuban Revolution transformed the ideological landscape of the Cold War. The alignment of Cuba with Soviet-style socialism and the nationalization of industries and land presented a direct challenge to the capitalist ideologies of the United States. The Cold War rivalry found a new battleground in the Caribbean. Part 6. Bay of Pigs Invasion. The documentary explores the Bay of Pigs invasion in 1961. A covert operation orchestrated by the United States to overthrow Castro's government. The failed invasion bolstered Cuba's resolve and intensified the animosity between the United States and the newly established socialist state. Part 7. Cuban Missile Crisis. The video reflects on the most perilous moment of the Cold War, the Cuban Missile Crisis in 1962. The discovery of Soviet missiles on Cuban soil brought the world to the brink of nuclear war. Intense diplomatic negotiations between the United States and the Soviet Union averted catastrophe, but the crisis left a lasting impact on Cold War dynamics. Part 8. Legacy and Impact. The documentary-style narrative concludes by examining the legacy and impact of the Cuban Revolution. Castro's regime endured for decades, shaping Cuba's domestic and foreign policies. The revolution's influence extended beyond Cuba, inspiring movements across Latin America and serving as a symbol of resistance against imperialist powers. Conclusion. The Cuban Revolution, with its charismatic leaders, revolutionary fervor, and geopolitical ramifications, remains an indelible chapter in Cold War history. As explored in this documentary-style narrative, the events surrounding the revolution underscored the complexities of ideological struggles, global power dynamics, and the enduring legacy of a small island nation that stood up against the forces of the Cold War.